Your dog wakes up. The first thing he does is not eat, not run to the door. He looks for you, only you, with his nose, with his eyes, until he finds you. This happens every morning, and most people don't notice it. What if this moment could be the beginning of something entirely different? What if today was the day that was truly made for him, not on the side, but completely? Today, I will show you what such a day could look like, hour by hour, moment by moment. No expensive program, no equipment, no free week, just a different perspective on what is already there. And in the end, you will understand what your dog truly needs from a good day. Spoiler, it is nothing you can buy, and it is simpler than you think. I will also reveal at the end what I call the golden hour and why it changes everything. Stay with me, because what I will show you around the 8th hour of the evening surprised me myself. Let's start right at the beginning, even before the day begins, with waking up. He might still be lying next to you, or in his bed, and waiting, calmly, patiently, for a sign. The sign that the day is beginning, that you are there, that everything will be as always, and that is good. The perfect day for a dog does not begin with energy. It begins with calm. Don't immediately rush to the door. Don't immediately grab the bowl. First, a moment with him. Look at him when you wake up. Say his name, warmly, without haste. Stroke his head once. That takes 30 seconds. And for him, it marks the beginning, safe, predictable, good. Dogs need a clear start to the day, just like humans need a morning ritual. Without this moment, the day starts with noise, and he catches up for the rest of the day. With this moment, he starts with connection, and that carries through until the evening. Now comes breakfast, and here too, a small difference, a big impact. Don't just put his bowl down and leave. Stay with him, stand next to him, even just for a minute. Let him know, this food comes from you. This moment belongs to us. This is no coincidence. Dogs that eat in peace and with company show measurably lower stress hormones afterwards. That has nothing to do with training. That has to do with safety, with belonging. And now, the first big activity of the day, the morning walk. This is where most dog owners make the same mistake. Every day, without knowing it. They walk fast. They have a destination. They look at their phone, at the clock, at the path. And their dog, he pulls slightly on the leash, sniffs briefly, is pulled along. What if you do the opposite this morning? What if you say, this walk belongs to you? No distance, no pace, no destination other than what he is smelling right now. Let him lead. Let him stop. Let him sniff the same spot 3 times. You stand next to him. You breathe. You look, not at your phone, but at him. That is no waste of time. That is the most profitable walk you have ever taken. Because he comes home differently afterwards, calm, fulfilled, mentally exhausted in the best way. Behavioral researcher Dr. Alexandra Horowitz from Columbia University describes sniffing time as a primary cognitive need of dogs. Not as a bonus, as a foundation, just like sleep is not a leisure activity for us. The morning walk might not take longer, but it feels 3 times longer for him. Because every minute was lived with intention, by him, guided by his nose, not by your watch. You come home, the morning is still ahead of you, and he is already fulfilled. He drinks, lies down, not because he has given up, but because he is satisfied. That is the difference. An exhausted dog lies down because he can't go on. A fulfilled dog lies down because he has had enough. These 2 images look the same, but they feel different. Now it might be 10 o'clock. The apartment is quiet. You might be working or getting things done. And he dozes, sleeps, processes the morning. That is good. That is his rhythm. Let him. Don't wake him up just because you suddenly have time. Respect his sleep as he respects yours. That sounds obvious, but many interrupt this sleep, out of love, out of boredom, out of a guilty conscience, and thereby disturb exactly what he needs right now: recovery, processing, inner peace. A dog that is allowed to sleep in is a different dog in the afternoon. Calmer, clearer, more connected. Sometime around noon, something small happens that many overlook. He wakes up, comes to you, lays his head on your knee, just like that, without demand. This is not a request for something. This is an offer for connection in the middle of the day. Accept it. Put your hand on him. Stay quiet for a moment. Listen to his breath. 5 minutes. No agenda, no goal. Just this moment that carries itself. That is calm presence, the second invisible need that he requires daily. And the perfect day has several of such moments. Small, unspectacular, unforgettable. Now it is afternoon, and here begins the time that many underestimate: playtime. Not fake playtime. Not the endless ball throwing that you eventually break off exhausted. But real play, the kind where he has to think, search, decide, win. Hide the treat in the apartment and let him search. With his nose, not with his eyes. Hide yourself. Don't call him. Wait and watch how he finds you, with a wagging tail. Or learn something new with him. Not out of duty, out of play. 10 minutes. Maximum. Dogs that experience short daily training sessions with positive reinforcement show a higher quality of bonding. The Animal Cognition Lab at the University of Budapest has measured this in several long-term studies. Not the length of the training, the quality of the connection during it. That is the decisive factor. So, no pressure, no expectation, just you and him, and a little game that belongs to him. Afterwards, come again. The afternoon is not a time full of activity for dogs either. He needs phases of silence, just like you. Let him observe. Look out the window. Maybe he lies there and watches the street. Maybe he sleeps briefly again. That is not boredom. That is contemplation on a dog level, and it is important. And now we come to the beginning of the evening, the second walk of the day. This one has a different quality than the morning walk. It is slower, calmer, evening-like. The day is winding down. The sounds are getting quieter. The air smells different than in the morning. And he sniffs this change, with the same care as the first one. Walk with him, not fast, not with the goal of getting steps in or checking off a route. Walk with the goal: this evening belongs to us. Together, slowly, consciously. And here comes what you have been waiting for, what I call the golden hour. The hour after the evening walk, before you go to bed, before the day ends. Lie down on the floor, next to him, really on the floor, not on the couch. Breathe, look at the ceiling. Let him come, or not come, as he wishes. If he comes, stroke him, slowly, without haste, without an agenda, just that. That is the golden hour, and it doesn't last a whole hour, sometimes only 10 minutes. But it is the 10 minutes that he carries in the deepest part of his memory. The moment before the day ends. The moment that says, today was good. We belong together. And the ritual of sleeping, that too is part of the perfect day, not just somehow, with awareness. Lead him to his place, or let him choose his place himself, if he is used to that. Say something, a word, a sentence, a gesture that is always the same, every evening. Good night, or simply a hand on his back, one deep breath, then you leave. This ritual closes the day. It tells him, the day is over. You are safe. I am here. And he sleeps, deeply, well, processes this day that was truly made for him. And now stand outside of this day for a moment and look at it, like a picture. What do you see? Not an extraordinary day, no trip, no surprise, no effort. You see 30 seconds of waking up, a quiet morning walk, noon with your hand on his back. A little game in the afternoon, An evening walk without haste. 10 minutes on the floor. That is the perfect day, not because it is perfect, but because it is complete. Complete in what he truly needs. Presence, rhythm, play, calm, connection, closure. And the hardest question at the end, not as a reproach, but as a mirror. How often does this day happen in a normal week? Once? Twice? Never? I am not saying, make it perfect every day. That is neither possible nor necessary. I am saying, choose one day this week, just one, and make it for him. Not for Instagram, not for the feeling of doing enough. For him, for the dog who looks for you every morning. Who waits until you wake up, who lays his head on your knee, in the middle of the day, for no reason. He doesn't ask you to change everything. He only asks that you are sometimes truly there. That is his perfect day, and you know now what it looks like. Not a single moment of it costs much. Not a single moment needs special circumstances. It only takes the decision. Today, I make this day for him. Consciously. Completely. And do you know what happens when you do that? You will come home differently in the evening. Not him, you. You will be calmer, more connected, as if you yourself had received something. Because you have received something. A day with someone who is unconditionally there. That is rare. That is valuable. He is not a project, not a task, not a to-do. He is a living being that chooses you anew every day. Write to us in the comments. What is the moment of your day that belongs to your dog the most? We read every comment, because your everyday life with your dog, that is worth sharing.